was that they've allowed the importation of rice, and that has really killed the
local
rice farmers,
yes.
the millers, because they all took bank loans to fund these transactions, and they were collected from Nigerian banks. So we need to encourage people that are trying to go into ventures that's going to be beneficial in the long run. We need to discourage importation.
I beg your pardon, I need to butt in here.
Okay.
Don't you think that you are doing something that you should do after you have done other things? You want to discourage us from importing, but right now we hardly produce anything.
Or the quantity, for instance, in terms of rice that we have,
we are import dependent.
No, it's because this is an economy whereby there are some things that we try to put our mind. Most people in Nigeria, it's like most people that have gone to, that are literate, they believe that if you don't wear an Ugu boss, a girl, you are not a man or you are not a woman. Our psyche as Nigerians has been, let me say, has been bastardized. It's someone that should crave for that should be someone that was born next to Mr. Dell or born next to Mr. Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah, we should crave for what he has. You understand? And why we have to crave for what he has is that's only we can encourage our people. Before we came on here, I was discussing with Doctor, and I told him that in the music industry, the entertainment industry, what the likes of all these guys, the band and the other guys, what they've done, I so much appreciate it because we now export Nigerian music. If you travel to Southern Africa, to the West Coast, if you are not listening to Nigerian,
it's not just in
UK, if you are not listening to Nigerian music, you are not a bobo.
Yes.
And then you discover that we like it or not, it's going to bring in foreign currency, natural, one way or the other, because they will buy, then there will be endorsements, both local and international. That's one.
Let me buttress your point.
Okay.
When I was in secondary school, we used to talk derogatorily about made in Nigeria textile.
Yes. Right.
We used to call it mokilabia.
Yes.
But if we had continued, it would have stopped being mokilabia,
right,
and it would have been better quality fabric.
Yes.
So the point is, we need to start.
We need to start
producing.
somehow. We need to start somehow.
Even if the initial products are not perfect.
If they are inferior, let's do it.
And then we gradually improve until we get there.
Yeah. Let me quickly put something to you. If you go to any Chinese company or Indian company, their MD CEO, they might be watching this program. What they wear, you will not believe that they have millions. Yes, the MD CEO, he will wear a watch that you say, is it the MD CEO? But to them, he doesn't care. What he's interested in, he has collected a 400 million from a bank and he needs to pay. But if it was Mr. Yonibugi now, I will have to marry the third wife, marry the second wife. That's when I have to now say my mother that is late. I want to redo the burial. I want people to know me. I want to come. So naturally, what we do is we've replaced, we've missed a lot of things, and that's the reason why I will want to encourage people that are in the educational sector to try as much as possible to catch them young. People that are under 10. Part of the training they should give to them is let's appreciate made in Nigerian goods. Let's appreciate what is Nigeria. Let's be able to be proud to carry the green passport. In as much as there are a lot of things that has happened, derogatory that we feel that the green passport is bad, let's try as much as possible to cite the younger ones so that by the time we are 80, 70, at least Nigerians, that we are talking about now 20, 30 years, naturally, probably the green passport will be proud to be a carrier of the green passport.
Okay, we need to start winding down now. What do you think should be the main focus of whoever will end up in the finance ministry?
In the finance ministry, that's the physical side of the economy, the income, the expenditure of government. That's the major issue they do in the finance ministry. All the policies with tariffs and so on and so forth. Now, we need to look at these things that we have on ground now. Just like he has said, much as I would not support further devaluation of the currency for now, because technically speaking, devaluation brings a lot of benefits if you are prepared for it. When you can export, that's when it comes on that if you devalue, your currency will then enable people to buy from you what you have. For now, I don't see what we have that we need to export that will enable us to have that kind of benefit. So CBN should continue to defend our currency if we have enough reserves for it. If we don't have enough reserves for it, well, we will know that we don't have an option. And that's why CBN Monetary Policy Committee was sounding a note of warning to Nigeria. If we don't take time, we'll get into recession. That was very good, letting us know in advance, not waiting until it happens. For me, that is something that should prick the conscience of every Nigerian, prick the conscience of Nigerians and the government, and say, look, this warning, not an alarm, it's not really an alarm. What can we do to prevent it from happening? Now, when we have done all this, for me, I think that we should be looking at how much money do we have? How do we prioritize what we put the money into? A lot has been said about infrastructure. We should begin to think about the ratio between capital expenditure and the normal office expenditures, so that we can have enough money to invest in infrastructure. And that's where the budgeting system would have to play a lot of role. Now, the second thing in my mind, or the third thing in my mind, is that we need a lot of discipline. My colleague had just said about reordering our priorities. People begin to cut their coat according to their size. Orientation of the youth, of the younger ones. Even the orientation should start from adults. If we begin to show a good example to the younger ones, they will have no choice but to follow through. It's so easy for us to say, oh, let me have a son and then I begin to train him to become more of this. But believe me, actions speak louder than
voice.
That's
Okay,
the truth.
Mr. Onigboge, in winding down.
Okay, for the economy, I think what I would just expect from the government is we should try as much as possible to reduce our spending. And what I know that Buhari has planned to do is the issue of having numerous PAs, that will be curtailed because those are leakages. The issue of having several cars, I hope that will be curtailed, because I once had Bola Ige complaining that when he became the minister, that he had 17 cars. 10 were parked in Abuja and 7 in Ibadan. I thought that was wasteful. Yes.
Well, that's not on record for us here.
Okay,
Maybe you have the facts.
That's what I heard. And
Okay.
the way they do it is we should just try as much as possible to block all leakages and to reduce our spending as a nation. And I believe we're on the right track.
Yeah.
And we seek alternative sources of revenue to shore up whatever we have.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. We've been talking about the economy, and we have in the house a development expert, Mr. Ayodeji Onigboge. Thank you for being here.
It was a pleasure.
And of course, the president of Bank Customers Association, Dr. Uju Ogugbonka. Thank you
Thank you very
for
much.
coming.
Thank you very much.
We'll take another break to stay with us on Sunrise.